2023 is going to be a very, very interesting year because there are economists are saying that 2023 is another year of inflation. Yeah. So that means that prices are going to go up. We already know prices are going up. Right? Eggs, cost of chicken, cost of basically even bakers are actually in a crisis right now because the cost of baking goods are also going up for 2023. So how are we as the normal rakyat supposed to save money but our pay essentially stays the same?
Exactly. That is what we're going to be talking about. It's a bit of a hard topic, but we try to ease it in as much as possible on this first day of the year. We have here in the studio, we have Wan Ahmad NAJIB, Wan Ahmad LOTFI, the Chief Strategy and Digital Distribution Officer from FWD TAKAFUL BERHAD. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you doing, LOTFI? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to both. I'm actually excited to start the new year on a show with both of you. So that's something that I never expected to do in the new year.
Something different, right?
Something different. I mean, like,
probably now you'll be waking up with your family.
I actually haven't woke up, probably.
I didn't see that.
They should be watching us right now, right? Because their daddy's on the show, so they need to watch you right now. So, all right, back to the topic that we have here today about save more, spend less. One huge question I do want to ask you from the get-go is, can you share with us about the situation of Malaysia right now in regards of its economy? I know it's hard. I know it's a tough question, and also the forecast of going forward, as what Zoe has actually mentioned, that it's going to be tough. A lot of people are saying not just for Malaysia as well as the world. They say that 2023 is going to be a very, very tough year in comparison to before. Your comments on that, Luffy?
Okay. First and foremost, it's really a question that you don't want to start to 2023 with.
Talking
about economy, how life is going to be hard and stuff like that. And just a caveat, I'm not an economic guru or something, but I'll just give some views based on whatever publicly available data and stuff like that. Good news is, based on the latest stats that was published by the Ministry of Finance, we actually are recovering, right? The GDP grew by 14.2%, if I'm not mistaken, in Q3, compared to 8.9% second quarter, 5%. Any growth is good, right?
Yeah, of course.
Right? You know, as we go post-pandemic, everything's getting back to normal, people coming back to work, more economic activities. I think we're doing pretty good. I just came back from a holiday.
All right.
And to visit Kota Kinabalu, Sabah.
Oh, my hometown.
You're from?
Yeah, I'm from Kota Kinabalu, Sabah. Awesome.
Yeah, you just open up the gate so that you just
highlight. Let's talk about it.
We don't talk about economy anymore, right?
Anyway, so holiday, right? School holidays. It was jam-packed. Flights were full, hotel were fully booked, traffic jam. I went up in Kundasang, there were traffic jam up in Kundasang. Imagine
somebody should have warned you on that.
Restaurants were full, right? Queues everywhere. Those are good signs, right? It shows that a lot of sectors are coming back to normal, right? These are good indicators. But nevertheless, you know that at a more micro level, there are people and sectors that are probably still trying to find their ground. So that's something that we, as you mentioned earlier, there's a lot of things happening, right? Moving forward, we should be on the lookout of what's happening globally, right? Because that has a lot of impact on what happens in Malaysia as well, right? Be it the geopolitical uncertainties, tightening of financial conditions, be on the lookout of how major markets like US, Europe, and China would develop. It has an impact on all of us. But I think, based on a lot of analysts and thought that we will remain moderate. Right? In summary, the growth for economy in Malaysia, it's going to be moderate. It's still that zone, and it's pretty okay in that sense. So it's not that bad as we envision.
I love the way that he's trying to soften the blow, try to like, it's okay, stay calm. We're still all right as long as people do their own thing properly and whatnot.
So actually, a very interesting point that in what you said just now is that you mentioned different sectors, right? So we know that our tourism sector is of course booming because people are itching to travel. But I want to know, in your perspective, what are the sectors that are not experiencing such a great growth? Because like I said, I mentioned earlier, is people in the baking industry. bakers are really, really worried because prices are going to go up this year rather. The goods prices are going to go up. A lot of raw materials are not available as well. Of course, that will impact, supply, demand, and all that. So I'm actually very curious, what sectors do you think are going to be affected or should watch out? Like, hey, our sector's not doing that great. What are the steps should we be taking?
So, and in general, I think this question is a bit more difficult to answer, right? Because it's each of these items and supply and demand, it's something real. If we come back to the basic of what's happening right now, imagine for 2 years we've been in pandemic. Now things started to open up. Only now we're starting to get into the role of things going back, people working, transportation, logistics, supply and demands, all that. In actual fact, there's a lot of supply out there that's not enough to cater for so much.
For everyone.
For everyone. So everything. I had a colleague who actually ordered a car, a foreign car. He almost gave up on the car because they kept on going to him saying that there's no chips. The lamp, the lights for the car is not available, right? Even those kind of things, right? So these things, it all depends on a lot of factors around the world where all these raw materials come in.
Sure.
And we talk about eggs,
right?
How eggs are getting
more expensive.
Because eggs, you're talking about bakery, and obviously to bake a cake you need eggs, right? At least for non-vegan cakes, right?
Non-vegan ones.
No, that's another topic by itself, but
But the real fact is, eggs, why is getting it more expensive? It all has to do with chicken. Why is chicken getting more expensive? The supply and demands are again. More demands are there, supplies are not enough. When supplies are not enough, all these things even coming back, because as we see, as consumers, we always look at the end product. But we don't care too much about what the other components that comes in along the chain.
Right.
We know that to breed a chicken, you need chicken food, right? That itself the price is high.
Has gone
so
up.
That's a bit of a domino effect, isn't it? Because everything is being everything is being affected.
Yes, it's a domino effect, a chain reaction. Simple as the food of the chicken goes up, chicken become more expensive, right? More beauty pageant kind of chicken. Then you have the transportation, availability, low risk availability, drivers unavailabilities and all that.
Manpower itself,
fuel hike and stuff like that. Every single piece of this has an impact. So when it goes to that, imagine all the sectors that we have in be it production, be it textile, all has all these components. So it's difficult to say which sector in particular. But we in general, a lot of us just need to be mindful of how we manage the cost of each. If we're running businesses, we need to be able to know how we start managing all these costs, because definitely
Yeah, exactly. Because at the end of the day, regardless of whatever industry that you're in, you're somewhat connected in one way or another. Hence why, should one tends to have a bit of a decline, others would be affected as well. But coming back to the topic that we have here about save more and spend less, which you are obviously a master of, as well. You're here on the show. Again, the term save for a rainy day has been uttered multiple times throughout the year. Ever since we were kids, even we've known this phrase to heart: save for a rainy day.
Or in Malay, it's sediakan payung sebelum hujan.
Sediakan payung sebelum hujan lah. But when we talk about the financial aspects of it, there's no doubt that you need to do this, as what we have witnessed back during the pandemic era. Back in 2020, a lot of people were not ready, hence why they didn't save as much. They didn't know what to do and whatnot. So there's not enough degree of importance for me to highlight this to you, but obviously we do want to hear what you have to say about this particular phrase, save for a rainy day, how significant, how important it is, and how should one practice such habit?
Okay, save for rainy days. Right? I think it goes without saying saving is a must. Right? the fact of the matter, in Malaysia, based on the financial literacy survey or something by Ringgit Plus and Financial Acquisition Network, I think 19%, this is a survey conducted in 2020, 19% of Malaysians does not have any savings at all. 19%.
Wow, that's a lot.
Right? And about, I think, 50% of Malaysians have trouble coming out with emergency funds of even 1,000 ringgit. Right? That's okay. And a year after that, Bank Negara Malaysia did another survey. Again, the survey came out about 47% of Malaysians still not able to produce emergency funds. Right? These are real issues. If you look at saving for rainy days, you spoke about the pandemic. Right?
Yeah.
You remember the pandemic hit, everybody wasn't ready. Some got really sick. Some of them, not nice to say, but face unexpected death.
Yep.
Right? Breadwinners of families, not ready. Imagine bills to pay, rent to pay, or house to pay, right? They don't have enough. With 1,000 ringgit, obviously you can't do much anyway. That's the 50% of Malaysians who has 1,000 ringgit.
Yeah.
But what about those who are not ready with all this and suddenly pass by and, right?
Yeah.
So there are a lot of mechanisms, instruments out there to help us do this. First, you need to do that regular saving, right? That itself, based on another research report by Perbandaran Insurance Deposit Malaysia, where my brother works, PIDM, says that a lot of Malaysians save when they can and not regularly. That's another, right? The good thing is that younger ones, between the age 35 below, somewhere around your age, do actually save on a more regular basis, on a very disciplined basis. So that itself is one thing that we need to inculcate in a lot of people. The other thing is also to prepare for other financial instruments when you save, because save itself is ensuring that you have a financial safety net. So another instrument is through insurance and takaful, right? You ensure you pay a bit more, set a bigger sum of money in case anything happens, because you don't know what to expect, right?
Yeah.
The good thing about the future, right? We've been running this program Fund for Life at FDB Takaful with our partner Arus Academy for students, primary and secondary students across Malaysia for 3 years. So the younger ones, they understand this. They appreciate this saving for rainy days a bit more. So I hope that this spirit the younger ones capture should go out to adults like Malaysian, like people like you and me.
That's what I was about to bring that up, is in terms of saving, because I've been told to save my entire life, essentially, right?
Yep.
Ever since
you could think
ever since I received my first ang pao. Ever since I received my first ever ang pao, I think probably when I was like 3, 4.
Right?
So you would essentially tell your kids to save. So I understand the concept of saving, but I'm not very smart in saving. I don't know if you understand the difference here, right? So in terms of as an adult right now, because we have so many, you mentioned Takaful has its insurance, type of insurance or type of way for us to save. So as a person who is offered a billion ways to save, literally, entire day, you have this loan, you have this type of insurance, this type of insurance, this type of insurance. How do I make a decision that's smart for me, for my financial portfolio? I want to invest, I want to save, I want to, like my biggest dream is to have 500k in my bank account by the time I retire. So let's say you have the same type of dream. So what should I look into, or what are the things I need to look into before I apply for any type of takaful, any type of insurance, type of investment, any type of means to save?
Okay.
Obviously, you're going to tell you about takaful, right? I mean, no, I'm kidding.
But I think it's very important right now to understand, especially in times of uncertainty. We've talked about outlook being a bit, right? As an individual, you need to first have a holistic financial management and health approach in life. It's not a one-way thing. So if you Google up, there's this thing called the financial planning pyramid.
Oh, okay.
All right. So it's a pyramid. It has 3 layers.
Right.
At the bottom is protection.
Okay.
In the middle is save. saving, and at the top, invest. Okay. And it's meant to be a pyramid. Okay. Protection is big at the bottom because it is your base. You need to build a financial safety net in case anything happens. Because imagine especially people who have family, if something happens to me, to you, you get sick, suddenly hit with cancer, those kind of things, you can't work. You need that financial
safety net, protection,
emergency money coming in quick and stuff like that. So that's why it's big below protection.
It needs the biggest amount.
You need bigger, but you don't have to spend the most.
Okay.
Because why? Because in insurance TAKAFUL, you pay a certain amount of money for a big amount of coverage. Right? You pay 50 ringgit for maybe say 100,000. If you pay 50 ringgit a month for a year, you only have 600 bucks. Right? So that's one thing. So look for a simple one that just protects you in case anything happens to you.
Okay.
Then focus whatever balance you have to
save.
Right? Save first, because you need that liquid money as you go along, because this is something that happens unexpected. Saving allows you to have a fund that allows you liquid money if anything happens in day to day or something.
Your
need
car
to
breaks down, and you need to spend on kids.
Yes, right. School opening up, or just really put a pound or
you
lose
want
a
to buy
pound.
a new car because you want to impress your in-laws. No, that doesn't count, right? No. Okay.
Now we know how Mio impresses his in-laws.
So those kind of things you save. Right, and there are a lot of rules out there. 30% of what you earn, put it on first.
10% of what you earn.
Adopt. The point is save.
Okay.
Put aside some money.
All right.
Then you have invest.
Right. The smallest, the smallest portion
because
of it.
Investing, all of us like stock investment, likes to talk about making money.
Yeah.
You have to ask yourself, is that the priority in your life at that point of time?
Okay.
It's all these surpluses. Because all this financial pyramid is on top of what you're already using every day to buy for your needs, right? Your groceries and stuff, and also to pamper yourself sometimes. Right?
Okay.
Right.
Very,
but
very interesting.
Is that pyramid, does that pyramid only fit for people who have the financial means to do it?
Or anybody can do it?
Yeah. So let's say I'm a family of 5 and I only earn 1,500. That's not enough to cover. I can't follow the scheme essentially, right? I can't follow the pyramid essentially. So what do I do if I'm not from a background of I don't earn a lot?
So this is a very, very, very important question.
Yeah.
Because I'm also a firm believer in financial inclusion, and a lot of times when we talk about providing for the lower income community about financial instruments, there's a lot of instruments out there. But as of now, a lot of players, both from the TAKAFUL insurance, banking, has been providing a lot of instruments there. You don't have to have all three.
Okay.
Right? That's why it's focused. First, get
protection
and save, and you don't have to invest. If you have 1,000 ringgit, you don't have to invest. But there are products out there that cost 2 ringgit a month for 10,000 coverage.
Yeah. Apparently the watch really wants to come in as well.
Okay, apologize. So protection, right? Below. There's products out there for 2 ringgit for 10,000 cover. Then you can save and just again in every. One of the biggest important thing to realize about a person is to always do and spend or save according to your means. There's this Malay proverb, ukurlah baju di badan sendiri.
Right.
Alright. So make sure you bring your tape measure. Make sure that you bring enough cloth on you, just to make sure that you, again, like you said, spend within your means and do whatever it is within your own budget, and don't simply follow whatever people are actually doing out there. We're almost running out of time, Luffy, but we do want to give you a chance to actually just give a very simple advice. Again, it is the 1st of January 2023. We have 364 more days.
Exactly.
A lot more days to go. So what would be your advice to Malaysians in regards of saving, and what's the best way to do it? Simple one, please.
Okay. I think first and foremost, for Malaysians, you need to empower yourself in knowledge, right? Improve your financial knowledge, improve your financial literacy capabilities so that you can make the right decisions. Right? It's really, again, coming back to the basics of good financial management, right? First, look at needs versus wants.
Okay.
Right? Spend on what you need first. Then put aside for all these saving approaches that you need to put, right? As you mentioned, the financial pyramid. Only then, if you have some surpluses extra, it's okay to pamper yourself. But just don't overdo it. Stats has shown that Malaysian, especially the younger generation, below 35, 47% of them spend or almost everything they earn, or even more than they earn.
Wow.
Right. So that itself, don't get into that
habit,
that
right?
habit and that nightmare. Because once you start building up credits, getting out of it is another the hurdle itself. So again, very basic. Come back to just needs and wants, save, and then.
All right,
we love it.
So, understanding the needs at once, very, very important.
So one last thing for our audiences who want to reach out, who are very interested in TAKAFUL, wondering, what service or what insurance TAKAFUL offers or whatever, how can they reach out and, where can they go for any financial advice?
So one thing for sure, it's easy for you. It's easy for everyone. If for TAKAFUL, you go to the Malaysian TAKAFUL Association's website, www.malaysiantakaful.com, I think. And there's
everything's there.
Everything. All the players. You can come to, some of you, if you're interested to get online, you can come to FWD. You want to learn a bit more, and even if you have family, kids, learn about financial literacy and about TAKAFUL itself, you can visit fund4.live. So it's this financially portal that helps people understanding. Even adults can
Yes,
there.
I need to. I'm gonna head there immediately after this.
Definitely. Just check out online, guys. There's a lot of things happening online. You can actually get all the information there. Thank you so much to our guests here, Wan Ahmad Najib, Wan Ahmad LOTFI, Chief Strategy and Digital Distribution Officer, mouthful, FWD TAKAFUL BERHAD, for joining us on this great 1st January, first New Year's Day show. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much, Mr. Najib. After this, you can go home and sleep.